whole day. You should have got a European question in there.
I might be on after school.
Huh?
Might be on after school.
Oh, you mean that?
I might be. I don't know. My parents are in Iowa.
Yeah, you got back to the time. Yeah.
What?
What class is this?
This is gentleman.
One class. Never taken it. What?
Alright, dude. I think today we learned.
How do you do that? There's looping them. Ah! Damn it! Little ones.
You do that. You just go like this. And then you make it with
Okay, hey, let's do a quick review of what we did yesterday. That way we can start that. Remember, on Monday, that's coming up Monday, we have math testing in here. Make sure you have your Chromebooks ready to go. You'll need them charged, ready to go, so don't like play a bunch of games in the morning and then expect to have battery by the afternoon. So you need to have it fully charged, because I think I have like 1, 2 plugins, maybe 3. That's it. Not much. And I got 5 or 6 of you, so that's not much. There's none on that wall, and I have no idea why. So
I
you
can
need
bring
to
it
come in
right
with that
after.
Chromebook charged up, ready to roll. Okay? But that'll be Monday. I'm going to leave that up there just so I can remind you tomorrow. Okay? All right. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Do we need to bring cameras for that?
No, you're not allowed to use it on those. Only on the actual test, it'll be in the upper corner, like a little button will show up. You can click it if they allow you to use the calculator, and the calculator will show up on the screen. It's not fancy. It's really basic. So, because they want everything done by hand, basically. So, all right. But we're on section 2.6, it's the last day of it. I just want to do a couple of review questions on how we're going to work these problems today. This is those divisibility tests. Divisibility tests. And today we are going to get a little worksheet on it today. So you'll get a handout on that. Okay, so divisibility test. Now remember, the tests were basically over the numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. The numbers 6, 9, 10, and 11. These are the rules that we have. We don't have a rule for 8. We don't have a rule for 7. But these are just the basic concepts that we need to make sure that we can handle. Okay, questions, comments, concerns on that? What we're going to do. Okay, we're going to do a couple examples today. Just make sure we're on the right page, and then I'll show you some homework. So I'm going to start with the first type of problem today. Okay, so the first type. So I'm just going to give you an example. Go. Okay. Let's start with this. This will be my first number here. Okay, the goal is they're going to give you numbers in these first part of this assignment, and what they're going to ask for is this number divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11. You have to check each one. So you have to know your rules that we talked about yesterday so that you can accomplish that. Now, the rules that we had up here yesterday, so let me put these divisibility rules. Short-term divisibility rules. Tests that you're doing. Okay? All right, so number 1, for the number 2, the rule was your number has to be even, and it has to end with a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. That's basically a big fancy way of saying that it has to be even. So is your number even? Yeah, ends with a 0, right? So boom, this number is divisible by 2. So I know the chart will be down below it or to the side of it. And so what you're going to have to do is just say yes or no. So I'm going to put this little chart here. 6, 9, 10, and 11. Right? So on that chart, you'll put a yes for the number 2. It is divisible by 2 for sure. So you put a yes underneath. Okay? All right, we'll go to the next one, number 3. So 3. You sum all the digits together. So sum all digits, that means you're adding the 2, 3, 6, 4, 0. You're adding up all those digits. And that needs to be a multiple of 3. It needs to be a multiple of 3. So on yours, when I add these up, let's see, that's 10 plus 0, that's 10 plus 5, that's 15. Is 15 a multiple of 3? Yes, so this is yes for sure. It's definitely divisible by 3. Okay, we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so we're on the number 4. So number 4, the last 2 digits. Last 2 digits. So you look at those numbers together. Is that a multiple of 4? And yes, in your case, if you look at the last 2 numbers, that is the number 40, right? That's on your chart. So 40 definitely goes into that. So yes, 4 is a big part of that. So that's a yes for this one. 5, easiest rule that we have. So for the number 5, it has to end with 4, 5. It ends with 0, 4, 5. Well, ends with the 0, so that is a yes for the number 5. You see how this is working now? There you go. This is your first type. You're going to have a couple problems. I think there's 10 of these. You have to go through and you have to give me every check. Yes, 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 no. Okay, for the number 6, keep going here. So we're on the number 6. It has to be divisible by 2 and 3. That means if you look at your yeses, 2 and 3s have to have both yeses. If one of them says no, 6 is a no. So do we have 2 and 3? Do they both work? Then 6 works. This is how it works. Okay, so these both have yeses. If one of them's a no, that's automatically a no for the 6. That's the idea. So 6 is pretty easy. Okay, we're on to the number 9. Number 9. Sum all digits together. You're going to add up all the digits, which we did earlier, which was 15. Is that number a multiple of 9? No. Remember, the multiples of 9 are 9, 18, 27, 36. So it's on your chart, right, when you look at that chart. So for sure, the number 9 does not work. This is a big no. Okay, what about 10? What's the rule for 10? Yeah. Ends with a 0. Well, that's true. This is definitely a yes. Your number ended with a 0. So yes, it is divisible by 10. In fact, if I were to divide that by 10, you basically just chop off the last 0. So it's 2,364. That's the idea. 11. This is the weird, quirky rule. There is no good way to put rule for 11 other than just trying to explain it out loud. Okay, so this is in-class discussion. This is way too long to try to explain in paragraph 1. Okay, so the rule for 11, you add up every other number. So I'm going to add this number plus this number plus this number. So I'm skipping some. If that number equals the ones I skipped, when you add those together, these two, then 11 goes into it. Okay, so let's add these up. 2 plus 6 plus 0. What is that, 8? And let's add the ones I skipped. 7. So 7 equals 8. No, so 11 will not go into it. It will not be divisible by 11. All right. Questions, comments, concerns on this problem? You're going to have at least 10 of these. So you're going to have to go through the checklist. I'm going to leave those on the board so you can look up there and kind of see. Those should be in your notes somewhere. You will also want that multiplication chart. So hang on, hold that up. I know Cole make sure you have those. If you lost it, you need to look in your bag and you need to find it. That multiplication chart will definitely help you out. Okay, we good so far? Okay, you have a couple of those. Do you think you can handle them? Basically, yeses and no. Okay, let's go to the second type of homework problem that you're going to have today. This is what we were practicing yesterday. What we were practicing yesterday. You would have to make up a number that follows those rules. So now a 3 goes into it, 5 goes into it, 9 and 11. So they all of those, the 2, 4, 6s, and 10s will not go into it. So that's the idea. So knowing these rules, you have to make up your number. It can be any size. 2-digit number, 3-digit, it could be a 100-digit number, I don't care. But it has to follow these rules, okay? Hopefully I didn't make any typos, like saying no and yes and accidentally having a yes here, so that shouldn't work. Okay, so now, here's the thing. If 10 doesn't work, what does your number have to end in then? It has to end in a 5. Because 10 didn't work, so it did not end in a 0, but 5 works. So somehow this number has to end in a 5. That's just something you need to realize. And now when you're making up this number, 11 has to work. So if you're putting more digits out front, you need to make sure that every other number, every other number adds to make the ones that you skipped over. So if 11 works. But also 3 has to go into it, and 9 has to go into it. That means when I add these numbers up, they have to make either 9 or 18 or something like that. So this can get pretty tricky. So you need to kind of pay attention for how this works. So I'm going to try to make up a number. I'm going to try to make these add up to be the number 9 because I want to make sure 9 goes into it. So I'm going to try to make these add up to be 9, and I want to make sure that 3 and 5 both go into it, and 11. So I need to make sure that every other number. So I'm going to go like this. So let's go with 4, 1. That will make 9, 13, no, that won't work. So let's adjust. You make sure that I add to the number 9. So let's go with 4, 0, 1. Nope, that won't work. Let's just go with 5 and 5 and 0 won't work. Maybe I should make this add up to 18. Oh. Than I was expecting. 4, let's go 5 and 4. That'll work. So 3 definitely goes into it. When you add them up, you'll get 18. 9 goes into it because it has a 319. It ends in a 5, and 11 works because every other number that I had, every other number adds up to the numbers I skipped. So yeah, that'll be my number. So you see how you have to piece these things together. You have to make sure that they follow every rule for the numbers that have yeses. I have to make sure that 2 doesn't work, 4 doesn't work, and 6 and 10 don't work. That's something you need to make sure. So I do not want to end in a 0. Okay, and you got to make up numbers. It can be any length. I just picked a 4-digit number just to make sure it was kind of easy to work with. I could have made it a 2-digit number. Okay, questions on this process? Yeah, the easiest number I should have picked was 99, but actually I couldn't. All right, but that's my number. So I can create that. All right. top, we're going to turn these in. Hopefully I didn't mess up on when I was taking these. I was trying to make the rules a little challenging. There you go. All right, so the top one. Okay, I give you a number. You have to tell me yes or no going across. Does 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 work? It's a yes, no going across. At the bottom is the ones where you can make up any number. You have to make up a number that follows those specific rules. Hopefully I didn't make up anything that does not work. And say like yes, yes, no's or anything like that. I don't think I did anything silly. It looks like it's pretty straightforward. I'm say any no's and put a yes for a 10 today. Or a 6. No, this should work. Alright. So, go ahead and work your way through it. I'm going to leave the rules on the board. If you have any questions, comments, if you want to run a number by me, see if it works, we can discuss it out loud, especially when you try to make up your own. But the rest of it works. Let's go to lunch.
So tired.
I know it ended with a 40, and it wasn't divisible by 11. I knew that.
Like 23,000 something 40.
You. Going down, boy. Alright, Sean. Alright. Gotta end this.
Oh, no, don't touch me! You know WWE.
Yes, I do.
Dude, you know what I wrote?
Yeah?
I was standing on something. He almost put me in AA. He literally talked over his shoulder. He was like, oh. I just scared him. What do you want?
Oh, he's calling you out.
Oh. Dude, you have so many voice cracks in your videos.
I know.
You're not trash.
Yeah, you are trash.
Oh.
Yeah, when you don't say you get it, because you're trash.
Oh.
Your whole life is trash.
Your family
My family was.
is trash.
Oh, I can land it on the cat, man.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's broke.
Land on the cat.
I did it one time.
What's not
I did it
important?
with an empty water bottle. I was sitting there watching football game. I kind of just threw it up. Boom, made it.
I did a
They're
double
both-
flip and land on the cat.
You count.
Okay, so what's this new challenge with the water bottle?
Sure.
Flip it.
You just try to make it land how?
Honest.
Like on it, like that.
Like that?
Oh. It's actually a whole lot difficult than you think
I
it
was
is.
sitting there. I had, it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, I had a big one, and one of those big ones and a small one. I flipped that one, made it, and flipped the other one, made it for try.
Really?
And then I tried to do it on the cap. I made it on the big one, and almost made it on the little one. I hit it, and then it fell over.
Is this what you want to try?
No, I'm good.
It's a whole lot difficult.
Well, I saw something like on Facebook about it, and I'm like,
There's some crazy bountiful things. Like, you know the McDonald's, like, sign?
yeah.
New sign? Someone made it up there.
So
Actually, like, there's a bottle on
Clear Lake
top.
one?
Yeah, we're like, there's a bottle on top of the sign. You can see it.
you serious?
Yeah, some dead
It's probably gonna blow over pretty soon.
Probably. Probably already has.
Makes you wonder how long they stood there trying that.
Probably took them like 20 tries. I was sitting there. I was watching this one video. This dude put it up. Oh, there's 2 girls with the water bottle. One flipped it and landed like this. And the water bottle landed on top of the other water bottle.
The only crazy one I got is just doing it
Okay.
by myself.
Hey, just a reminder, homework here, this worksheet. Just make sure on the top one, you're putting all yeses and nos. So, like if they give you a number like this, you're going across the number telling me yes and no's. Don't just check them. Like actually write yes and no in there. And then for the second group, that's the ones at the bottom, you have to make up your own number. But it has to fit the stipulation. So they're going to give you the blank, right, that's over here. And then they're telling you yeses and no's across. So you got to make sure that these numbers that have yeses actually work. And none of the other numbers do. That's a big deal. Okay? Okay, questions on that problem? Okay, I'm going to give you some time to work on it still, because I know that especially those bottom ones take a while. You have to really think outside. You're reverse engineering numbers. It takes a while, and there's a lot of possibilities. Okay, the rest of the time is yours if you need it. Take your time. If you have questions, don't be afraid. You need that multiplication chart in front of you. That will help you, especially for the rules for 3, 4, and 9. Just knowing. Now remember, there's a ton of multiples of 4. I think your sheet only goes up to what? 40, 48? There's a lot more numbers past 48. You got to keep figuring those out. All right, so there you go. and then tomorrow we'll kind of move on to the next section. I don't know if I'll give you much time tomorrow to work on since you got a full class today. Tomorrow we might be moving on to section 2.7 on factor trees and prime factorization. But remember, Monday you definitely need your Chromebook. So this homework still due Monday, even though we have math assessments. You got to make sure it's ready.